Guys, I want to be American here, and welcome to Ignorance is Chris, a new YouTube series I have sort of devised, came up with a name at least, and thinking of things I can do with it. I guess instead of a regular blog, this is going to be more of I don't know, maybe a troubleshooting exercise, or just maybe taking things from society and saying, hey, what's up with that? So, yeah, I guess I don't know how many of these I'll do, but we'll see how it goes. Right, I've got a lot on my mind pertaining to weird things I've seen both on the internet and well, in my life, to be honest. Right, so here goes. First things first. On the way back home yesterday, it rained quite a bit. Not particularly rare for Japan. It's June, apparently coming up to rainy season, and I've said that a million times, but apparently this is definitely coming towards rainy season. And it was spitting with rain, not brilliant, but half an hour commute home, it's not too bad, just got on with it. But as I was leaving the campus premises, came up behind a girl. She had an umbrella, but that's rather unimportant. It's flimsy facts, really. However, there was only one real route away from the campus. I happened to be a few feet behind her. Now, I'm an intimidating man. She's a native Japanese. She's bound to think something's up with that. So I'm striding a fairly hard pace, and I think she gets slightly spooked, tries to speed up. She's impossible to overtake at this point, because I was already going at a reasonable pace. I'm not slowing down, I'm not delaying my arrival back home, so I continue at my normal pace. There are no left or right turn-offs. I've got to keep following it. But now that she's sped up because she's spooked, she's even more difficult to overtake. What she should have done if she was spooked is deliberately stop, allow me, the faster man, to overtake. And that was the end of her problem, but she made it worse for herself. That really, it bothers me. It happens a lot. It happens all the time. And on the subject of that, carrying an umbrella, that doesn't make it easy to overtake either. And then girls also have this habit. It's always girls as well. They carry a handbag in their left hand, usually. Possibly their right. But it's usually their left. And as they're walking, they walk with a bit of attitude and style, and they like to swing a bit. But then their sort of freed up right hand, bearing in mind left hand occupied, their right hand just swings about all over the place. It goes really far back as well. It's really off-putting. I have to slow right down on many occasions because of that. Very difficult to overtake. I don't know whether they're conscious of this, whether they're deliberately crotch grabbing. I don't know what they're up to. But yeah, they should really stop. So another thing I was thinking about the other week was limboing, and the practice of sort of limbo, the game, more than a sort of dance. I mean, literally the practice of going under that stick many times as a competition. It bugs me a lot, really. As a tall man, I'm over 6 feet tall. The game is fundamentally rigged. Like, the table's tilted, frankly. Because if you're 5 feet tall, you've got much less far for your spine to have to bend and snap to get under the bar. I've got to do much more work as a 6-foot man to get under there. It's a horrible game, which also means women usually have a better chance than men as well. I mean, it's an important, and it's really badly thought out, and it progressively gets lower and lower and lower. But in fact, what I propose, instead of this whole limbo thing, make some proper rules, get some proper officiating in. What we need instead, for the tall people amongst the world, what we need to do is have a system, a scientifically thought out system. And if you, according to the centimetres that you possess, height-wise, then it should be some mathematical formulas so that the bar goes down, I don't know, 0.2 of that every time. I don't know really what I'm saying by that, but what I mean is that the bar should only go down in proportion to one's height, and so the spine has less work to do, ultimately. And it's a completely fair test. I know it's supposed to be a bit of fun, but it never is. And tall people just look awkward and terrible at it. And it's totally emasculating, so I want the practice either improved or banned forever. Finally on my mind, I was watching American Dad actually, but it's not unique in this. So basically what I've discovered is that Americans and American TV shows at least, possibly movies as well, they're really, really lazy and really bad at pronouncing names traditionally associated with other countries and nationalities. So for example, Stan, lead character on American Dad, Stan, instead of pronouncing it as Pedro, he would pronounce the character's name as Pedro. I don't know where this Pedro comes in, and they do this all of the time. I mean, the best example I can think of that really bugs me as well, really bothers me a lot, is the Charles Xavier character from the X-Men series. Very synonymous with power and style. Excellent, got it all going for him. X-Men, it has to be Xavier. Sure, I get that connection. It just seems very butchered and bastardised. Perhaps I'm wrong. Hence, ignorance is Chris. Perhaps I'm wrong, and perhaps it has always been the case, and maybe the Mexicans and the Spanish all got it wrong. I don't know. I want an answer to that one, though, really. Well, how have they got away with it for that long? I can only think, bearing in mind X-Men, so that's Marvel, so then that's probably sort of 40s, 50s America. Perhaps they didn't really know how to pronounce names back then, and it stuck badly. Bad habits, though, get rid of it. Sort it out. By no means am I saying that the English have it right either. We're all quite ignorant. I think the English-speaking countries, as a native language, are all quite ignorant of other nationalities and their pronunciations of names. Actually, yeah. Everybody's bad at everybody else's names. That's what I've discovered. But anyway, I'm done with this rant. I'll see you guys later for episode 2, I guess.